Alright, 3, 2. Everyone, my name is Fred, and as always with me is,
Oh, hey, it's Luke.
and welcome to Off the Mark.
Yes,
Uh,
prequel arc. Wait, did
uh,
did we do one last week? Was last week the one where we took a break, or was it the week before that? I know.
we did DC fandom. I'm pretty sure.
Fandom was last week.
Yes, we discussed everything, and this week we are continuing on with a little bit of a trend that we started, which is the Star Wars prequel type of division. And yeah, we're basically going to be discussing everything that we found that was both good, bad, and in the middle within the second Star Wars film, Attack of the Clones.
Oh yes. We did Phantom Menace a few weeks ago, and from now, I know this out on a Monday. We are back on schedule. We should be out recording Friday, or it doesn't really matter when we record, but
Yeah.
out Saturday, 7 o'clock on YouTube, 6 o'clock on Spotify. Back to normal. Just had a few exceptions. It is just you can't avoid it. But next week will be episode 3. The one after will be a different type of podcast. Anyway, yeah. You want to hit us with your bad ones?
Right. So, how many bad ones would you like me to do?
Just hit me with like the biggest ones.
All right. So, one of my biggest one. Okay. So, the first one that I found was Yoda's animation is looking really strange in this one. Like, it was alright in the first film, but in the second one, it just looks really weird and janky.
Uh, I think I can add something to that. In the Phantom Menace. Sorry, did they eventually go over the Phantom Menace Yoda with CGI?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, because they had a puppet to follow in the Phantom Menace in the original version, which meant you could kind of tell the movements and stuff. The puppet was horrible. The CGI was necessary, but
Yeah,
but yeah. So you had something to follow. This film, they didn't go with the puppet, and they just sort of.
I think it. I think the puppet's a lot more better in Revenge of the Sith. Not puppet. I mean the CGI.
Yeah, I think it does improve in Revenge of the Sith. I still don't
Yeah,
particularly like it in Revenge of the Sith. I think it looks kind of rough, but because we're kind of doing these, it's like, oh, we covered that issue last time. Let's not bother next time because a lot of these films have. Oh my god, hold on, have similar issues, so we don't really cover them all at once.
mm.
Like, there's only so many times you could say janky dialogue or whatever. Just had a cat scratching at my door. I don't know why. I've opened it. She's not come in.
I've normally got the same problem, but with my dog.
But yeah, Yoda was really sort of. See, I don't like the going for the prequels or going for the CGI in the prequels when it's simply not an issue. Like some of the times you just can't tell. It becomes an issue when like shoes clip through the ground and
Yeah,
heads clip through things. It's like it's like
it's like
that's when the CGI is a problem. It's technically not a problem in like the outside shots of Coruscant or whatever. That doesn't matter at all. The CGI looks completely fine, but it's when it looks like a poorly rendered video game where feet are always clipping to ground and stuff. And it's just horrible.
yeah. Right. So, you want me to go into my next one?
Yeah, it's the next.
A lot. There's a lot more awkward conversations between multiple characters in this. So, an
Uh,
example is like the dialogue between Anakin and uh, Padme.
yeah, the dialogue. This is where the dialogue is at its worst, I think.
Yeah, it's
It's like,
strange.
oh, when Anakin after he kills all of the thingy, what are they called?
Some people.
Yeah, and Padme just sort of goes, oh.
Okay.
It's like, and like Anakin also talks about wanting a dictatorship, and she doesn't really say anything about it, even though that being the one thing she stands against. And it's like, okay, you can right. the character's better.
Yeah.
Like, you can have her show sympathy for Anakin as well as staying within her own character, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird because I don't think these films are as bad as most people think, which means I always seem like I'm defending them.
I like I like parts of the prequels, but it's only because obviously my childhood was built because of the Clone Wars TV show.
Yeah, see, I quite like a lot of them. But they're also at times genuinely horrific. It's like you yeah, I feel like I'm defending them all the time. I don't particularly like them. They're fine, but if someone went, I want to watch a good film, I wouldn't go them. I might go Empire Strikes Back, A New Hope, or probably not Return of the Jedi. Let's be honest. But like one of these two films. But I'm not going to suggest any of the prequels. Jesus. But yeah, characters seem to break their own character quite a lot.
Yeah. Well, so it's weird because obviously my next point is kind of part of a few different things.
Yeah.
And it's obviously around Anakin's character. Like obviously a lot of people have like chastised Hayden Christensen for it, which
yeah.
I don't agree with because I think he did the best of what he had.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, George was the one that said yes to the tapes. It's like you don't need to blame Kelly Marie Tran for her performance and her writing in Last Jedi because it's not on her. It's not. You shouldn't expect her. It's like it's the same thing here.
It's because one of the points I did have was Anakin acts like a creep.
Yeah.
So it's like the thing where like he's in. I'm pretty sure it's the scene where like he's helping Padme pack to go, and she's like, "Can you not stare at me that way?" And he's like, "It's hard not to."
You make me feel uncomfortable. I will never forget that line because it's said in like the most sort of late secondary school female voice. You make me feel uncomfortable. And it's like I get what they're going for. See, that's the thing with the prequels. I always get what they're going for. It doesn't mean it's done well because it's supposed to be her trying to reject her lust, her like for Anakin, but it just comes across like she's going no, squirming at the idea that he's interested in it, and it's yeah.
What also adds into that is a noble line that Anakin says, which is, "I don't like sand."
I'm not going to bash on that line very much. It's like it's a bad line. Everyone knows it. It's
a
just
bad line, but it's humorous. It's humorous.
yeah. I'm happy that line exists just for the memes.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like there's a lot of actual bad lines that will never get remembered because they're bad. Like this is one that's so bad it's just funny.
What's another one? Oh, so there is a scene within Attack of the Clones where Anakin and Padme are eating food, and Anakin uses the Force. The CGI food looks weird.
Like, why didn't you just use a real pear? You know,
I was gonna say.
No, like, you know that bread in Force Awakens, the quarter portion. That's
Yeah.
real. That's real.
That's real.
Yeah, it's real. Disney put much money into that to make sure it worked. Obviously, you couldn't actually eat it because it's full of chemicals and stuff. But like that scene is real. And it's like I've seen examples where companies have put prosthetics on fruit to make them look different. Doing something like that, I think that set, the room they're in, could have been all practical. Because there's nothing outrageous there, so you could have just made it all practical and had real things, maybe fruits with prosthetics, as I said. It's like,
yeah.
Like that is genuinely the worst example of CGI because it's just not necessary. Like, people bash on Far From Home for its CGI, but every piece of CGI is there with a purpose. It's not just CGI for the sake of it.
Yeah. My next point, which is interesting, is Anakin's confession comes across like really weird.
Yeah.
Like I know it's meant to be like an emotional scene where like he's pouring his heart out, where he's saying like Padme's part of his very soul and stuff, but it just comes across really weird and just weird.
Yeah, I think it could have been delivered better. So I've always imagined that you could play that like starting really softly, like
Yeah.
the I killed them being pretty dead, sort of deadpan, is it? No, it's not deadpan. It's where it's kind of said just the, and then over time he like he gets more and more angry about it because he realizes what he's done.
Yeah.
And he's kind of embracing Dark Side more, but instead he kicks straight off.
Mm. Oh, so there was one point that I kind of feel like is good and bad,
Yeah.
and this is the Duel of Fates, like using the Duel of Fates theme. Like it's good because the Duel of Fates theme is probably one of the best
Yeah.
pieces of music to come out of the prequels.
I'd say it's probably one of the best pieces of music to ever be put into a film ever.
Yeah, and do you want me to give you a reason why why it's bad in this film?
Done.
Because of the scene that it's used for.
Sorry, when's it used? I can't even think about. I can't
It's when
even.
Anakin's on the speeder looking for his mother.
Hold on. So Duel of Fates is about. No, I kind of get it. I kind of get. So the whole
I
thing.
understand it, but with the name of it, I kind of feel like you'd use it more for an actual fight instead of him riding off.
See, I can't remember this, but like if there's subtle notes of it, I think it's fine because the Duel of Fates was about the war for Anakin's future, and this is the first instance of Anakin's future going to hell. So I think it's fine if you use subtle notes of it, but having it out
It's
loud,
not so it's like the full song. It just goes like it like goes all the way to the chorus and just goes like Hora Mata.
oh,
It's
oh,
like it's like the full feature one.
I don't like that. But I can't really remember. I watched
And
this.
like it's just him riding angrily, and then it stops at him talking to Jawas about where like the Sand People were, and then
Oh,
it just ends like abruptly when like he's out when he's at the thing.
oh, oh. Yeah, that does sound quite bad. Yeah, I mean, do you want me to hit you with a couple bad things?
Uh,
Unless you've got any more big ones.
so hold on, let me quickly look because um let's see okay. I was gonna say one. So I technically have. So okay, I have two ones that. Okay, I have a few more.
Yeah,
But I'm just gonna do two.
yeah,
Quite quickly. So one of them is obviously Django's death.
yeah.
I think they did him. I think they gave him a death that suited him. But the only problem is, I kind of feel like they should have kept him around a bit because he was a very good character that they introduced.
I know why they killed him because if they captured him, for example, or if
Yeah,
anything else had happened to him, like like there would have been flaws in Revenge of the Sith or whatever. But I think you should have given him a better death. I think
yeah,
if you'd given him slightly more of a ceremonious death, I don't think he's supposed to have killed Jedi before. So
yeah.
give him like
He was the Mandalorian War.
give him a proper fight with Mace Windu.
Yeah, him lightsaber out in epic.
Yeah, maybe something like that. Just imagine if you could just go back and give him the Darksaber there.
Oh, that would have been epic.
Give him the Darksaber there, but have someone escape with it, or it go missing or something. But you can't go back. Like,
no,
you couldn't. It just wouldn't have worked then. And if you introduce that to the main audience, it just wouldn't have. But like, he should have gotten something slightly more ceremonious, like a bigger death. What was your other one?
So I have two ones that I'm gonna kind of blend in together.
Yeah.
And they're both about Anakin. And it's Anakin shows his emotion for Padme when like very, very abruptly when she falls out of the dropship, and also Anakin shows off his immaturity in the fight with Count Dooku.
I mean, I don't think the second one's really an issue, him being immature. And the first one, I think you can kind of... Because Obi-Wan knew they were together. Obi-Wan knew Anakin and Padme were together. I don't think that's really an issue. I think the big... Go on.
I think it's more of like, if they're not supposed to, if no one's supposed to know about it, it's kind of like there's no point in kind of hiding it if he's just gonna like abruptly go like that within the film, like after they've just.
Oh, see, I think there's a worse instance of that, and I'll go with it now. So after the Dooku fight, at minimum, Anakin and Padme embrace within maybe 10 steps from Yoda, and like that's what they at least embrace. You can't quite tell if they're kissing or not, but they at very minimum embrace. But this is in front of Yoda, not in front of Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's there obviously, but it's like Yoda is right there. That's where you go, really? Yoda doesn't know? He was right there. He probably would have seen it, you assume. It's like, if he'd glanced back, he would have seen this. This is right at the end. So, I felt it's just a bit, it's one of them that's just really annoying. Like, you just look. Just look. So that was kind of stupid.
Yeah.
I'll go through a few. Are you aware of one Cosmonaut Variety Hour?
I might.
So a big thing in his prequel video was, he did this rant about, so the assassin lady sent bugs. No. So Sidious sent Dooku, who sent Django, who sent lady, who sent robot, who sent bugs to kill Padme.
Yeah.
That's not an issue. It's just not. You know what the good thing about that is? Having leads that go all the way back. Because let's say they were to catch, I can't remember her name, the assassin. Do you know? Sam Wessel?
I don't know. Sam Summon.
Yeah. If they caught her and they'd asked, who sent you? It would have gone back to Boba Fett, not Dooku. But they did end up going back to Boba Fett. But he sent them to Tyrannus, who they didn't know was Dooku, which means there's like layers. That's not an issue. The bigger issue, though, why did the robot not just shoot her through the window?
Very true.
Like, it was looking at her, it saw her, you just fire one shot, or even a missile, or anything, into that window, she's dead, easy, film over, R2-D2 dead too. Like, it's not about, the shot might have triggered an alarm, but who cares, she's dead. And then just self-destruct the robot or something. Why did the robot try and go back to her? Why? Because then it's just taking her back to the person who committed the crime. I'm sure robots like that are fine. Just set it to self-destruct. Or anything. Don't go straight back to the person who sent you. especially if you're a droid for an assassin. Also, okay, while that droid chase was happening with the robot that was going back to Sam Wessel, I'm just gonna use that. Why didn't Django just pop in, fire a missile at Padme? There's no Jedi there to protect her now. Just missile straight at her. Doesn't matter how much protection she's got, nothing stopping a missile. And then, so they stop Sam Wessel, and then Django fires a Camino and saber dart.
Yeah.
At Sam Vessel, which is the reason they were able to go back to Camino. Why not just use a blaster? You cannot trace a specific blaster bolt back to a place. You can a dart though. Didn't need to poison her. Could have just shot her. Also, why did you set her up to be a shapeshifter if she's not going to really shapeshift? If she shapeshifted someone in the canteen or whatever they were in, then it would have been more interesting. They were trying to pick out the fake, use Jedi, the Jedi sense to identify her. That would have been quite a fun idea. But they didn't do that, so what's the point in making her a shapeshifter? It's like, just in that scene alone, there's so many issues. It's like, you could have, a blaster would have solved this whole scene, this whole chunk of the film, in so many different ways. Blaster on a droid, blaster after while the chase was happening, blaster to Sam Vessel. I'm gonna Google it now because I can't remember her name. If you've got an extra little one, feel free.
An extra bad one.
Yeah. Zam Wessel. There it is. Zam. Yeah.
I don't really know. Still, I think Jar Jar in the thing, because obviously I kind of feel like he's too well manipulated in the
How is he a senator? He's so stupid.
Yeah, that's because he's well too manipulated by everyone.
Yeah. It's so, how? I know he mistaked his way into defeating them. But surely you'd have him in on the council for like 5 minutes and you'd go, oh Jesus Christ, this guy's not cut out for it. And then suddenly, nope.
Well, it's always confusing because they kind of push this idea that Jar Jar should be there when all he is just a bit of comic relief.
Yeah. The first thing Jar Jar does in the film is look to camera and smile. It's like, just had to shove it down your throat.
Yeah. Have you got another
bad one?
Yeah.
Not really. Not. Oh. The whole inside the conveyor belt scene.
Yeah, that.
Why? No, I'm not even gonna. Look, the CGI is horrible. What the hell was up with the C-3PO stuff? It was just all so stupid.
It was a bit unnecessary, to be fair.
You could have just had them go in, deal with a couple droids, and then Django shows up. You could just cut that entire scene. You don't need 3PO being a droid. It's just stupid. Also, C-3PO was Anakin Skywalker's mother's droid, and therefore was then owned by Uncle Owen, Brew, and the other one. Why did they just let them take C-3PO? C-3PO did a bunch of work for them. Why did they just take him?
I don't know.
Like, maybe it would have made more sense. You could have had like a 30-second, even 15-second scene of just the guy who ended up marrying Anakin's mother just gift them C-3PO. And it's like that's all you needed.
Well, it could have been more of like I would like to give you the last thing that your mother ever had, and that is
Yeah,
3PO.
the only thing your mother had left. Oh my
Yeah.
god. I'm sorry. Breaking news, Gareth Barry just completely halved Jeremy Lynch in Soccer Aid. Great to see. Anyway, back to seriously, crunching tackle from Gareth Barry on Jeremy Swaz Lynch.
Okay.
Oh. Anyway, yeah. Star Wars. I think I'm done with negatives, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure there's other issues, but Jesus Christ. Okay. Positives. I'm gonna go with some positives. I think the story is generally pretty good. Like all of these, the story, the concepts within this film are pretty good. I mean, because this entire prequel series came from one line from Obi-Wan Kenobi in Episode 4. They developed a pretty good story out of it. If it were better written, it'd be great.
Yeah.
It could genuinely be incredible. But yeah. Positives. The arena fight, I remember when I was a little kid, I found that really cool. That was good fun. Um, I'm trying to think of more positives. I mean, the Dooku fight isn't very good. I'm trying to think of positive. This is the hardest one to find positives for because it's all just kind of bleh.
Well, I have a few positives that I can name off.
Yeah. Go on.
That do you want me to do the positives?
Yeah. Just battle through a few of them.
Okay. So the visuals for the ships are look good. So they're looking better. Um, the themes and the music for this film kind of fit preferably quite well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the generally hit alright. I don't think they're bad.
Yeah.
Like in the sequels, they're not as good as in the other ones, though.
Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen kind of seem like they are quite good friends. Seem like they are friends, so it does kind of spark quite good subjectivity to it.
Yeah, I kind of wish we just saw a bit more of it, though. Like, a bit more of the relationship because they separate them pretty early. And I mean,
Yeah.
we don't get much development. Well, we never get much development between the two of them in the entire series. They interact a couple times in Phantom Menace. They interact for the first quarter of this film, maybe third at a stretch of this film, and then you get maybe the first third of the next one. You don't get that much in terms of development of their relationship. You see it, but you don't see it grow. You just sort of see it.
Yeah. An interesting thing that this film does, speaking of relationships, it starts to build up Anakin and Palpatine's relationship together.
Oh yeah, they set it up in like dialogue. They don't really show it, but I do like the lines of dialogue. I wish we got like one meeting between them shown, but we do get a lot of lip service to it, and it's quite good.
Uh, I think one thing I did like was when it came to like the whole Obi-Wan visiting Kamino.
Yeah.
The cloning facilities and Camino looks very, very good. If I'm honest, like, it looks very good, and like everything looks really white and clean and prestige.
Oh, I think that's probably where the CGI is at its worst. You never look at a character's feet in Camino.
No,
Oh,
that's the thing I never do.
yeah, I know. It's just like, oh,
And I have so I might leave. Okay, there's one specific one that I'm going to leave till the end. That does kind of happen at the end of the film and in the Camino scene. Um, so this film shows off Anakin's reckless views on how power should work, and it's obviously foreshadowing how he's gonna like his turn to the dark side.
yeah. There's a lot of foreshadowing. I feel like at this point now, I feel like he probably should have only had one of these things. I feel like he's too evil already. Oh yeah, I want dictatorship, and I killed all the children. Yay! Not yay, obviously. That's an
Mm.
exaggeration. I just feel like he's a bit too evil now.
Yeah. Um.
I, I, I feel like he's gonna turn in a year, not like 5, as it's supposed to be. 7? 6.
Yeah. That's the thing. I never understood the timeline between that.
Uh, what time?
Because obviously with Clone Wars, they obviously do the episodes out of order.
Revenge of the Sith is 3 years after Clone Wars.
Really? It seems longer.
It feels like it should be like 5.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone ages 5 years between them.
Yeah, it seems
And
longer.
they were filmed like 5 years apart as well. When did Attack of the Clones come out?
Blah, 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 blah.
2002.
Yeah,
And Revenge of the Sith was 2007, right?
I think it is. I
Oh,
don't know.
2005. 2005. So it was 3 years between them. So it's like 3 years just doesn't feel like enough.
No, it kind of feels like it should have been like at least like 5 or maybe 7 years to
I think
build up all this stuff.
I think 5 to 7 would have been about right. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I guess 3 is fine, but sorry, a 2. Okay. How old is Ahsoka at the beginning, Clone?
I think she's like 15, 13. I had or during that now.
She's 14 when she first shows up on Clone Wars, which means she's 17 in season 7.
Wow.
Yeah, she's 17 in season. Jesus, she has to deal with a lot as a 17-year-old.
That means she's not that old in Rebels.
What, Rebels is like 10 years after? Oh, sorry. Uh, uh
5. I swear it said, oh, that is like 5 years. So the beginning
yeah,
of
but
Rebels.
Kanan was a child.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. Unless like he just grew very
She's
rapidly.
32.
Hey? So wait. If season 7, that is when spoilers to anyone who's not seen Clone Wars season 7, it's been out for a bit. But obviously if she's like in Clone Wars at the very end, which is obviously when Order
17.
66 and the Fall of the Republic is.
Yeah, it's 15 years after. Actually, that makes sense timeline-wise, because as we know, it's like Rebels is only like 2 years before uh A New Hope.
New Hope.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that works out fine. I mean, yeah, she's 32, which means in Mandalorian, what, she's gonna be 42?
Yeah.
45, maybe 45 at a stretch. Jesus. You kind of just to keep her around a bit longer. I kind of want her species to age slower, just age like half the speed of. But no, because she feels like early, maybe 19, 20 in season 7. But hey,
Yeah. It was weird. Really
oh,
weird.
I want them to cram in as much Ahsoka stories, because they've already nailed down Ahsoka. She's on that one Rebels planet for the entire original trilogy. So I can't remember what that Rebels planet's called.
Try and remember.
Oh, the one Ezra's from.
Oh, what? Oh, what's it called? Lothal.
Yeah, the one that never gets any development at all. But hey, we're supposed to care, right? Care about Lothal, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, Attack of the Clones.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
as I was saying, interesting thing is they made Jango Fett. Like they gave off like he is quite clever and dangerous with the way like he's talking to Obi-Wan when they're introduced to each other.
Yeah.
Because
I like it. I just wish they represented his death well, because of
I
it.
kind of feel like they should have done like if anything, they should probably try and do like a spin-off thing for Jango.
Yeah, give Django a prequel show. Make me care about Django, because right now I really don't. I don't care about Boba Fett either, though. So
Because I've read the comic for Django and it's actually quite cool.
I don't like the Fetts. As soon as they became not Mandalorians, I do not care about them. I like Mandalorians. I do not like this.
So do you know what Django? So do you know what Django's origin is?
No, I do not.
So he was raised by a Mandalorian warrior and was given the his own armor and stuff. And obviously, when his adopted father was murdered, he sought out and killed the person who killed him, who was part of Clan Vizsla.
Yeah.
And basically, in a fight, Django was captured and made into a slave.
Oh.
And afterwards, he killed. I'm pretty sure he killed his captors, and then went out on his own to try and make a name for himself as one of the best bounty hunters in the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one of the biggest things is like you can include if they did do a prequel show, they could include like how he fought against the Vizsla, the clan Vizsla and Death Watch.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'd like to see that. I would. I'm not sure how interested I'd be, but if it existed, I would not mind. It's like, but anything, and it's going to take a lot for Disney stars now to get me back on board anyway. So it's like, why not just do whatever?
Taika Waititi will bring everyone back.
I don't know if he will. I'm pretty sure he had some control of some of the stuff in Mandalorian, like the force healing. Force healing. Forever be one of the things I hate most about Disney Star Wars. There's a reason force healing isn't canon, but I'm sure we'll get to that when we do the sequels. Ugh. I think we probably skip over the original trilogy for a while and jump straight to the sequels when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing to say about the originals. They're great. Okay. So.
What else did I have? I had Django and Obi-Wan's rainy fight scene shows off more of what a Mandalorian can do.
I'm not really a Mandalorian, but
well, you know what I mean, like what his armor and weaponry can do.
Oh yeah, what the sort of tech can do.
Yeah, which does kind of show off imagine if they did show off a Mandalorian war between the Jedi and the Mandalorians.
Yeah, Disney seems to be staying away from pre-Phantom Menace though.
Yeah. What else? Asteroid fight. So the asteroid fight is actually quite intensive.
Yeah, I mean,
I quite liked it.
Yeah, it's a decent fight. It's a decent fight. Oh, one negative I have. Baby. Boba is just annoying. Just.
Get him, Dad! Get him!
Get him!
The actor who played Boba in Attack the Clones is actually old enough to play Django, not Django, old enough to play Boba in the prequel, in the originals.
Yeah.
He's actually the same age as Boba would actually be.
Yeah, he would be, wouldn't he? That's kind of cool. But we're getting Tamora Morrison back as Boba in Mandalorian, so
It'd be very cool. So the film creates an emotional presence with Shmi's death.
yeah.
Which I quite like because it kind of like shows off that everything that's happening is pushing Anakin more to the dark side.
Yeah, I
Like
think.
he chooses.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm out of things to say on this episode, really.
So I do have I do have a few more good ones, but I can kind of just round them off if you want.
Yeah.
So I have Jedi. So the Jedi versus droids encapsulates the whole genre that Star Wars is.
Yeah.
What else do I have? So the scene with Boba picking up Django's helmet is interesting because it makes me think: is this because this kind of foreshadows that he just puts the helmet to his head, and I'm thinking, that could be like a reference to like him thinking, I will.
Well, yeah, that's the point. It's not.
Yeah.
I think that's very. Yeah, it'd be really funny though. Picked up
Well,
the head, held it to his head, and the head falls out. Yeah. Oh,
Um,
that's evil.
so okay, my last one, which I'm going to do, is both that happens at the end and in the middle.
Yeah.
And this is so when Obi-Wan is shown like all the clones, and you see all of them like marching in like formation of thing. Like that scene gives it power.
Yeah.
It shows off like this is like a big army, like a mighty army for the Republic. And the thing that made me go like, "Oh, that's amazing!" and that's so cool, is at the end where like when Yoda says the Clone Wars has begun, and then it cuts to like the clone army and like a makeshift version of like the Imperial theme,
Yeah.
and I'm just like that sound, the visuals in this scene and the sound just brings it all together so well, and I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, definitely. It like oh, I can't wait because our last one after Revenge of the Sith is going to be pretty much a prequel roundup, like where we talk about our general opinion and stuff, but we're also gonna make fixes to certain things. It's like that episode's gonna be so good. Like, yeah. Anyway, I think that's probably it for this, right?
All right.
Um. Do you have anything to plug or anything you've been working on or anything at all?
No, I don't really have anything else.
If you ever need something to be linked below, I don't mind. Anything you make, anything you do, I will link whatever you want below because, well, this is your podcast too. Obviously, but also if you ever feel like editing an episode, funny. But yeah, I've been Sloop. He's been Fred. Au revoir.
See you guys later.
Bye.